Welcome to Ann Arbor, Michigan on a snowy evening. Biggest snowstorm we've seen in this state all year. Super Wednesday is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. Northwestern and Michigan played a couple of thrillers last year. This is the only meeting between these programs this season. Joe Davis, John Crispin inside the Chrysler Center. We take a look at our starting lineups brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings.
We got Alex Ola highlighted because he had a great game last year against this team. It's also going to be important for him to get things going with the ball screen situation, open up some three-point opportunities for the Wildcats. On the other end, Duncan Robinson has to make shots early, get his confidence going. It's going to give them a lot of success.
167 times these teams have met. For Michigan trying to move towards the top of the standings. Northwestern trying to avoid that bottom four, which would mean they'd have to play in the opening day of the Big Ten tournament down in Indy. Coming up in just a couple of weeks. Michigan won 56-54 in this building last year. Northwestern with a double overtime win in Evanston. It'll be the Wolverines to start with it right now. And Jerry Palm's last four in, having dropped four of their last six.
And Michigan really relies heavily upon the three-point shot, as does Northwestern. I think Michigan just has a few extra playmakers where they can get more going to the basket, so long as threes fall.
Coming off a 4-point loss at Maryland on Sunday. Zach Irvin finds Duncan Robinson. That is a three that rattles out. Brian McIntosh has the rebound for a Northwestern team coming off an 8-day layoff since that 10-point loss at Purdue. And the tie up will keep it on this end of the floor. So we'll call for about a foot of snow in parts of the state today. Started coming down this morning. Bit of a late arriving crowd as a result. Just glad you made it. Wasn't sure.
Made the drive last night to make sure I could get out.
Smart. Belzone's take, no good. Here comes Michigan. Walton finds an open Robinson, who's missed his first two shots.
And the hope is he continues to fire when he gets good looks. Great opportunity in transition there off the ball screen and roll to the basket.
I mentioned both these teams being reliant upon the three. Alex Ola, though, is giving him a nice presence inside, and he buries the jump shot to start the scoring.
And that's his key strength there. He sets great screens. He's always in position. He reads the pick and pop, pick and roll situation very well. Probably better than anybody else in the conference.
Robinson loose underneath. No. Donnell couldn't follow it. Lumpkin touched it last. Stays here.
We talk about Ola's value, and it's taken him some time to get his legs back, but what a great read. You see the help defense down there in the paint, so it's not going to be a roll situation. Picks and pops, 15-foot jumper, count.
Averaged 24 per game in the two games between these programs last year. 4-year starters battled through a foot injury this year. With the shot clock winding down, it's Irvin out of the corner. In and out from three. Michigan off to a cold shooting start. McIntosh, the sophomore, kicks for Lumpkin. Outside Belzone. That's a three.
You talk about the value of the three-point shot. For Northwestern in particular, they use the dribble drive and good ball movement to seek out three-point opportunities. Lumpkin turned one down, but got it into the paint and got a better shooter a good look.
You know, if they shoot it better against Purdue more than a week ago, they probably win that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
6 for 27 from three. When you rely on it as much as they do, it's a recipe for a loss against a top 25 team. Again, the shot clock winds down. Donnell has to fire away. And it's tracked down by Lumpkin.
The Northwestern defense will give a lot of teams fits. It really takes some time to figure out what they're doing, how to attack it. Grown very comfortable with this matchup zone.
One thing John Beilein talked about to us before the game. Teams that don't shoot well tend to struggle against it. Michigan has been a good shooting team.
And it's a situation where you see Ola doing work down low, can't get it to go, but it's a situation where you lose confidence in your shot because you get good looks. You just have to continue to fire. You're getting good looks, even though you're not getting them to go. Continue to look to seek out those shots.
Well, Wolverines have missed their first 6 shots from the field and trail 5-0. McIntosh around an Ola screen. Ola pops. Got Donnell to fly by. And Alex Ola plus the foul.
the quickest move in the world. I'm being sarcastic. I mean, it was laborsome. Is that a word? Laborsome? I think it's a word. It should be a word because that's the best way to describe this move. The big, slow pump fake, one dribble, good body control. He finishes. That's why he's so important to this team. And you can't say enough about how much this team was hurt when he went out. Not only that, the few weeks following him coming back, it just took some time to get his legs right.
Would cumbersome maybe be the one you were looking for?
Cumbersome? Yeah, I mean, cumbersome, I don't know. Labor something. It was,
he labored his way.
I don't know.
We'll get there.
It's snowy.
One of those days.
Gosh. I don't get paid to talk for anything.
No. This is a much different start for Northwestern in this game than the Purdue game. They started that game 0 of 8 from the field, got into a big hole that they couldn't climb out of. Abdur-Rahman with a baseline drive, finds Donnell, outside Robinson. And Michigan continues to search.
If you're John Beilein, you're not upset with these possessions. You're getting good looks, especially when you get dribble drive to the basket. Good drive and kick basketball, they'll eventually start to fall.
McIntosh around a Pardon screen. The freshman in the paint. As it knocked the foul zone. They're going to travel on Lumpkin. Brings us to the under 16 timeout with a big goose egg under Michigan's name on the scoreboard still. Chris Collins' team off to a good start. Been for a lack of good looks.
No, there's a lot of Wolverines fans out there yelling at the TV, a lot of come-ons, but they're getting good looks, and that's the thing. As a coach, you look at this and say, I'm fine with these possessions because we're getting good opportunities to make baskets. We're just not getting them to fall. You know, in the timeout, John Beilein saying, guys, continue to shoot these shots. We'll get them to go, and we'll be right back in this game.
You never had a problem with missing a few to begin and still firing away, right?
I'm still firing away. Yeah. I mean, Chris Collins and I, we were talking about that earlier today, where it's an attitude where you have to expect to make the next shot.
It's Abdur-Rahman traveling out of the timeout. They don't get a shot up on this trip. This is one of the best offensive teams in the Big Ten. Scoreless over the first 4.5 minutes.
I also think it will take some time to figure out how to get shots inside of this zone. They're getting good threes, and if you don't get them to fall, the defense will continue to collapse until you start making perimeter jump shots.
McIntosh finds Pardon. Freshman with a dribble handoff. Back to McIntosh. Walton tracks down the miss. Robinson spinning. Belzone, good ups to get his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in. The turnover has Debs pushing with a 3-on-2. Trey Debs, Northwestern's leading scorer, can't get the roll. Pardon follows it.
And that's what I love about Derek Pardon. He is just terrific. When he gets on the offensive glass, he goes up with it quickly. A lot of young guys want to bring it down. He keeps the ball high, finishes right back at the rim quickly.
He had a nightmarish time dealing with Purdue's talented bigs last week. Fouled out in a total of 6 minutes of action. Irvin gets to the rim and finally breaks the scoring seal for the Wolverines.
And as I'm commending Derek Pardon, he doesn't get himself in position to take away that dribble drive. You got to cut that off. Can't let a ball screener turn the corner.
Belzone in rhythm, rips another three.
Not next year, I'd say the following year, he's going to be recognized as one of the best shooters in the conference. He's just got that pure of a stroke, and with his size, he's going to get himself easy looks. He's just got to get comfortable getting shots off quickly.
Got a Massachusetts. You were talking before the game with Chris Collins in that conversation about not being shy after cold starts from the field. Abdur-Rahman reverses it in, but a big part of making that adjustment to college ball is being ready to shoot when that ball arrives.
Yeah, because your window is that much smaller. I mean, the window closes quickly because of the length and athleticism of the players at this level. You have to get your feet ready before the ball gets there.
Evan Skelly draws the foul and finishes. This is a guy seeing more and more playing time without having one skill that stands out, but there's nothing that he does terribly wrong either.
Oh, he does everything well. He really hides it too. I mean, you don't even know that he's out there half the time because it just doesn't make any sense to see Rafa. What a finish. Athletic fan, you got to get a few baskets close to the basket to get things going if your threes aren't falling. But as we're saying about Skelly, I mean, he comes in, he doesn't make mistakes. He may not do anything terrific in the sense of making threes or scoring 10 points a game, but he does everything very well. Got a chance to talk to his father here before the game. Very excited to see his son playing more and more minutes.
Yeah, it's his dad, John. We know his mom, Tricia, is back home in Ohio watching. Good find for Ola. Defended by Ricky Doyle fresh into the game. Ola pulls. Got it.
And he just knows where to go. And there are bigs that are athletic. They have all the capability in the world. But if you don't know where to relocate to after a ball screen or screen situation, you're not going to get open shots. Ola does.
Averaged 24 in the 2 games against Michigan last year. Already has 7 in this one. Abdur-Rahman spinning, getting the roll. Ola from outside.
Even on the miss, I like that shot. As you see Michigan starting to really push the tempo, trying to get inside the paint. I like the shot because it keeps the defense honest. In no way is Michigan going to be able to sag and protect the rim.
He's hit 6 threes this year, so he does at least present somewhat of a threat that he will take the shot. And having to just respect that does a lot. Ola wants it inside against Doyle. Gets it with a face-up. Now Skelly. Outside Lindsay catch and shoot. Barely hit the rim. Skelly good hustle with Irvin. One of his touch last by Michigan. Alex Ola, 7 early points to lead Northwestern.
And Alex Ola's been terrific. It's not just the activity in terms of him being able to make a move. It's his screening that's getting him easy looks.
On BTN is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Brought to you in part by State Farm. We exist to assist. And by America's Navy. Women's swimming and diving conference champions honored during that last break. The hardware to show off in front of this crowd that's starting to fill in some, fighting through that weather.
It really was nasty out there.
Man.
Thank God for four-wheel drive.
You trying to drive home tonight back to Chicago?
That's a game-time decision.
I'm headed back to Grand Rapids. My trip's a little shorter. Northwestern hitting above 50% from the field so far. Trey Demp's their leading scorer, still searching for his first bucket.
Well, the movement's been good. I mean, the ball movement, the man movement. They're getting enough back cuts to keep the defense honest, which is opening up three-point opportunities. Exactly what they want.
Abdur-Rahman, a step back. 6 of Michigan's 8.
He's been key. He comes in, he makes attacks to the basket, tough finishes at the rim, but in a one-on-one situation, he will put you in the mixer. It's good defense by Ricky Doyle, getting back to Ola after covering the ball screen.
Ola pops into the corner for a 19-footer that's short. Doyle with the rebound.
All around good defensive possession there for the Wolverines.
Walton navigated inside. Wraparound pass for Doyle who banks it in.
Doyle was really on the receiving end last year of Alex Ola's big night. So you got to think he's bringing a little extra pride to the game today.
John Beilein said, you know, as a grown man, and Alex Ola going against as an 18-year-old freshman at that point. Go back to our motorist insurance. Drive to the hoop, drawing the defense, dumping it off.
A little wraparound pass. Now that's something you see Melo Trimble really do well. Great vision, and that's not even vision as much as it is knowing where your player is, understanding what the defense is taking away and who's going to be open.
Here's Scotty Lindsey. Outside to Sanjay Lumpkin. Michigan turning it up defensively in the last couple possessions. Dockich defends Lindsey, whose jumper's too strong, and Chapman's got it. Here's Dockich bringing the ball up the floor with Walton getting the rest. Abdur-Rahman. Dawkins curling, free throw line, Jay. Here's Pardon. Good job by Doyle to go straight up. But apparently he touched it. Hit the baseline. Yeah, what are we doing? Oh, they're going to say that it wasn't touched, and it is Michigan ball.
Well, it was touched on the way up, but he tried to shoot it.
They got the call right. Here's Cameron Chapman, played his biggest minutes of the Big Ten season against Maryland on Sunday. Had 6. The only 6 bench points for the Wolverines in that game. Doyle to the screen. Dockich trying to find an opening. He drives baseline. And it goes off a Northwestern player. Michigan will inbound with 3 seconds to shoot.
And right now, the Northwestern defense is doing a great job trading off cutters, also switching on some ball screens, not on others, making everything difficult for Michigan.
This Collins team started the season 15-3. Gone 2-7 since then, though. Running through a gauntlet part of the Big Ten schedule. Abdur-Rahman freed up by the Doyle screen, and a foul on that shot. And so 3 free throws coming up for the sophomore out of Pennsylvania.
One of the things you have to be concerned with if you're Northwestern is if you're not switching shoulder to shoulder, hand to hand, you have to be careful of the slip. Let's see, I mean, not much. I'm sure he got him on the leg. Yep.
Good start for Abdur-Rahman, who had a good game against Maryland on Sunday. 16 points, 9 assists. He's got 7 in this one.
Well, he's the kind of guy that can create his own shot. And those are the best guys to bring off the bench, especially at a time where you can't get a shot to fall. You just can't get one to go. You get great looks. You bring Abdur-Rahman off the bench, and he just creates for himself.
He was a guy that they didn't expect to see much time last year because of the injuries that they dealt with Walton and Wilson and Levert for a good chunk of the season. Abdur-Rahman became a big piece, entered the starting lineup late, averaged about 5 per game.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those blessings in disguise. Obviously, you don't want to deal with injury, but at the same time, certain players get to develop, and you learn a lot about who can make plays and who can't, especially at this level in the Big Ten.
Northwestern has gone more than 4 minutes without a point. Michigan has ripped off 9 in a row. Demp sets up the screen. Dockich got his hand on it. Demp's got it back and fed Skelly for the slam.
Great job sticking with it. Good hands by Dockich to take that away. Northwestern just kind of grinding it out now. I mean, they are significantly better when Alex Ola is on the floor in that offense.
Well, the ball bounced off a Northwestern player. Michigan will inbound.
And I hope that's something that Derek Pardon can learn how to do. Really be that kind of guy, screen, pick, and pop when he needs to. You're good hands. Advantageous bounce. An open dunk opportunity. Skelly, look at him, man. Little hops there.
5 early ones for him. Already surpassing his average for the season of just over 3. Shot clock inside of 10. Walton directing traffic. Donnell with a screen. Walton blows by Demps.
And Walton did exactly what Demps likes to do with ball screens, which is decline the ball screen and attack that weak side. No help because the strong side guy stays on the three-point shooter.
Northwestern with his 4-point lead, and their top 2 scorers on the season in Dempsey and McIntosh, both scoreless. McIntosh, short. Duncan Robinson picks up the loose ball. Walton the crossover and the finish.
You're going to see Chris Collins come back with Alex Ola, primarily because defensively, Derek Parton's just not getting into position early enough to take that drive away.
Skelly, middle of the zone, had it knocked away. And it's Michigan basketball. 4 straight for Derek Walton to bring the Wolverines back to within 2.
And when Walton can get things going to the basket, it's not just that it leads to layups. Eventually, this is going to open up more three-point opportunities for a team that needs to get one of those to go.
Choice tonight for the Quicken Loans amazing performance. How about what Mark Donnell did on Sunday against Maryland? 25 points for the week. A pair of Michigan losses, but for the week he averaged 21. John Beilein said when he plays like that, when he produces like that, he totally changes them.
Absolutely. When you get someone that can actually be respected down low, you can throw the ball into, he can make a play, especially against a team like Maryland. It's got great size. Forcing them to be honest defensively changes the game.
It was an 86-82 Maryland win, a game that Maryland led by 16 after Michigan went on a long scoring drought during the first half, but the Wolverines battled back, had a few leads late in that game, but just couldn't pull it out. You score 82 points, you should expect to win.
Absolutely, especially against a team like Maryland that has not been scoring points like that. Maryland just has not gotten it going offensively. It's a number of things. I mean, it's a million different factors. I think the toughest thing is when you have that much talent trying to figure out a steady rotation. Although no one in the country coach-wise feel badly from Tom Izzo and Mark Turner.
Yeah, right.
Not a chance.
Ola gets the soft roll.
He is so underrated. He's honestly, he's like a 35-year-old European, professional European playing against kids.
Yeah.
Just with every skill in the world, knows he's always in the right place at the right time, defends very well, talks, he communicates defensively. They're such a better team when he's on the floor.
Senior out of Romania, 4-year starter for this Northwestern program. With 5 to shoot, it's Irvin. That's the first 3 that Michigan has even attempted in the last 11 minutes. They've still not made one. Donnell has it knocked away, but he touched it last.
That's one of those, Donnell, know your limits, man. Do what you do, stay in your lane.
But he scored 25 the other day. He's feeling it.
He does, he's feeling it. Got a little swagger to his game. Maybe a little limp in his stride, I don't know.
Well, so Michigan has missed its first 6 threes. This is one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. They hit 13 in the loss against Maryland on Sunday. That was the most makes in a loss for Michigan in 20 years. Ola extending the range to 19 and knocking it down.
If you're a kid and you're watching this, learn how to screen. I wish I knew that when I played basketball in college. I would have screened so much more because the screener always gets open, provided you set a good screen. Alex Ola is a great screener. That's why he's getting easy looks.
First player into double figures. They're going to get foul zone for the foul. Trying to stick with Duncan Robinson. Neither one of these teams foul very frequently.
Except Northwestern when they played Purdue.
Yeah, right.
There's only so much you can do. I tell you, I would rather scheme against size than I would try to scheme against good guard play. But at the same time, if you can't play without fouling bigs, it's going to be a long game. And you're going to have to go deep into your bench.
Yeah, Purdue pounded it inside. They shot 28 free throws. There's Robinson with a backdoor cut.
That's good to see Robinson get it going. He will get open 3 opportunities. He's just got to get them to go. finding rhythm by getting to the basket or even getting to the foul line and making some foul shots certainly helps.
Seeing it go through, right?
Yeah, you just got to see it go through. You also got to be involved in the offense. If you get out of the offense, it's hard to be in rhythm.
Ola wanted to shoot that. Passed it up. McIntosh gives it up for Lindsay. Back in the hands of McIntosh. And a 3-second violation will send it the other way.
The reason why you're going to see this over here, it's going to be Duncan Robinson. He's going to make the backdoor cut. Partially because Skelly's closing back out to the three-point line. That's why it's going to be wide open. Again, reading the defense is more important than just moving to where you're supposed to move in the offense. It's more of a counter reaction and option than it is set movement. I mean, the days of set movement are almost long gone. There was a time where it's like you screen here and then you go here and then this guy's going to do this. It doesn't work that way anymore. Everything is an option and a counter to whatever the defense does.
Walton stepping back, knocking it down. Michigan within 2. Trailed by as many as 13 early. Ola from outside. Rips a 3.
I mean, that's a great play. He sets a side screen to clear the side guard, the wing. And then he goes right into a ball screen, which forces his man, Donnell, to go with the ball. He's wide open. He's feeling it.
Only his 7th 3 of the season. He's got 14 of Northwestern's 26, and Walton turns it over. Lindsay trying to run the fast break. Haley gets his pocket picked. Ola's left open again. You almost expect it to go in at this point.
He wasn't ready to shoot it.
Yeah.
If he was ready to shoot that, that was coming from the offense. Yeah, he would have made it because right now, Alex Ola is the most important part of this offense. Not because he's handling the ball, but because he's setting great screens. You set great screens, 2 men go with the ball. You're wide open bottoms.
Presented by Buffalo Wild Wings on BTN and BTN to go. Alex Ola, must be something about playing Michigan for him. 14 so far tonight.
Look, it's not just about making shots. Yeah, he's getting shots to go, but he puts himself in position, which is more of an opportunistic type thing. He puts himself in position to be able to make plays. He screens very well. He gets other guys open with his screening, but he also relocates to the right spot. Not just where he can make a shot, but also where he can receive a pass.
Averaged 23.5 in the 2 games against Michigan last year. The team split those 2 contests. Here he is again with a turnaround hook shot that's cleared by Irvin.
I literally texted my brother at the timeout, who's coaching at Division III level, and I said, go find yourself an Alex Ola.
Yeah.
Like right now. I mean, it really is amazing how much better the offense is when he's on the floor. Even the defense, because of his communication.
Not too many 7-footers walking around, though, that can step out and knock down a 3.
Not at the Division III level either.
Yeah, right.
Although Duncan Robinson was there, so some spectacular plays. You see great pass.
Donnell gets his first points of the night after that 25-point outburst on Sunday.
And that's where the length and the height of a Duncan Robinson helps you. To be able to see over top and pass over the top of the defense like that. Right by the ear of the defender.
Lindsay. Demps out of the corner. His first points of the night.
When the ball doesn't stick for Northwestern, they are tough to stop. Because you have to respect the post-up issue with Alex Ola. You also have to respect their ability to drive and kick. The one extra pass is what leads to an open shot.
Demps are leading scorer on the season, 15 per game. His first 3 of this one come inside the 2-minute mark. Way outside, it's Walton, and Michigan still has not hit a 3. 0 of 7 from downtown. State Farm halftime report coming up in 1:30. Demps just got his first points of the night. McIntosh still gunning for his. Here is McIntosh. One-on-one with Irvin. They clear it out. He fires away. Nope. Irvin might have gotten it. No. Air ball.
It's good to get Trey Demps going. This is good ball movement. Drive, kick, extra pass. Walton doesn't know. He's got to pick one guy to go with. They find the right man. It's Trey Demps. He gets it to fall. And when he's shooting well, Bryant McIntosh is playing well. They are a really tough team because Demps and McIntosh together are an NCAA tournament level combo.
Irvin drives it into the corner. Abdur-Rahman still no threes. Falzone. Lumpkin got it, but he was on the baseline.
And there's a lot of old school coaches out there scratching their heads saying that's a bad shot. Chris Collins is not one of them. He thinks that's a great shot. Look, you get a good look in transition. You may not find a better one. Yeah, there's his left foot on the line. I always say I'm a great official when I get to see it 3 times in slow-mo.
There's Zach Irvin from the free throw line.
These guys have to make calls in real time. No thanks.
Trey Demps takes a timeout. Northwestern has led the entire way, up by 4. 35 ticks left first half. Tournament from Indy. Coverage starts March 9th on BTN. BTN to go. Can you believe we're already talking about the Big Ten tournament?
I can't wait. I'll be there all week. This is the best job in the world, especially come March.
Michigan trying to battle towards the top half of the standings. Northwestern trying to stay out of the bottom 4, which would keep them from playing the opening day of the tournament.
You know what's really important is that you avoid that first day. Yeah, you don't want to play an extra game, but also you look at the teams down there. The Illini are dangerous. I would not want to play Illinois. You saw what Minnesota did to Maryland. I was doing that game. I don't want to play anybody. And if Corey Sanders is back, I don't play Rutgers either.
Demps, a good look, but a brick. Final possession of the half. It's Walton on the push, and the block was 6.7, but it's only
good
the
foul.
4th foul.
Good foul. I mean, that's something that in the timeout, Chris Collins and staff are telling these guys, we have fouls to give. Do not give up anything easy to the basket. Also, don't foul on a jump shot.
Well, McIntosh for that foul. The timeout taken by John Beilein. Wolverines inbound from under their own basket, 6.7. What are you drawing up, Coach Beilein?
I think you got to do something to extend the defense. Get the defense to extend and then attack the basket. You also have to understand there's another couple fouls to give. So if you have another foul to give, if you put the ball on the floor, expect to be fouled.
Try to get something underneath. Instead, Walton, the second option, takes it into Demps. Abdur-Rahman shares it with Robinson, who finishes the first half with the first 3 of the night for Michigan.
Got the defense extended by attacking the paint, kick out, swing. You got Duncan Robinson at 3. That's going to be key for them in the second half.
They missed their first 8 before knocking this one down.
I was surprised that Northwestern didn't foul. I mean, they did a good job taking away the initial option, but you give this man a wide open look, find him a little rhythm, a little confidence going into the second half, you're in trouble.
Northwestern scored the game's first 10 points, led by as many as 13. Michigan has cut it to 1. Stay tuned. Dave, Robbie, and Jess along from Chicago for the State Farm halftime report right after this break. Agent, AutoOwners.com, and by Rocket Mortgage, the fast, powerful, completely online way to get a mortgage by Quicken Loans. Back in Ann Arbor, Northwestern has led the entire way, scored the game's first 10 points. That lead down to 1 as we get ready to start the second half. 29-28, Continental Tire first half stats. Michigan missed its first 8 threes before burying that 3-ball to finish the first half from Duncan Robinson. But even despite that 1 of 9 performance, they're within 1. They dropped 4 of their last 6 and coming into this game sitting in Jerry Palm's last 4 in.
Which means there's still work left to do. And that means you got to win tonight. You don't want to put it in the hands of winning a few tough games at the Big Ten tournament. Whether you make the tournament or not.
Irvin starts his second half with the travel. We look at Arisa's perfect combination. Alex Ola in that first half had 14 to lead the way and got some support from a freshman. Falzone hit a couple of threes.
Well, Falzone is the floor spacer, and Alex Ola, such a great job screening, relocating. in some way the catalyst of this offense at the center position, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, when you look at the numbers.
And it's not just playing through him in the post. It's him being active, getting players open shots, and getting himself to the right spot.
McIntosh begins the second half with his first points of the game. Their second leading scorer on the season. Averages more than 14 per.
And it's good to get him going yet again. A screen from Alex Ola. But McIntosh is the guy that you can't not double him off of a ball screen because he finds his teammates so well. You almost have to get hard hedges and get the ball out of his hands because he is so tough getting into that paint.
Shot clock inside of 10. Walton had a good first half. Got underneath. Robinson in the drive. Lost it. Irvin pulls. No. An air ball and a shot clock violation.
Northwestern, because of this defense, and it's times it looks like a matchup, there are times it looks like man, but because of the defense, they take your initial option away, you kick it out, then the defense scrambles very well. When they scramble well, it is hard to counter. That's why you see just a 4-shot late shot clock situations.
Falzone caught it ready to shoot. Abdur-Rahman stuck right with him. Ola again screening out front. McIntosh, Falzone, corner 3.
That's great offense. That is great offense. There's only so much to do. The defense has to help to take away the paint drive. McIntosh is going to be able to turn the corner, get inside the paint. You help. You give up a wide open shot for Aaron Falzone.
That's his third 3 of the game. He's got 9. Abdur-Rahman in a tough spot there underneath against his 7-footer, and it's a turnover. That's already 9 Michigan turnovers, a team that's top 10 in the country in taking care of it, averaging just 10 giveaways a game.
You're better in terms of taking care of the basketball when you have good spacing. When they are balanced and they have good spacing, yes, it's easy to pass the ball around and get the defense chasing, but right now, you got to credit Northwestern. They're doing a great job defensively, taking away option 1, option 2, and forcing up bad shots in late clock situations.
Falzone again. Good again. His 4th 3 of the night.
It's amazing how when you get a shot to fall, it just feels as if the next one's going in. That one, the quick catch and fire. You saw Bryant McIntosh toss his hands up like he knew it was going in the whole time.
Yeah, as soon as he let the pass go. Some confidence. Abdur-Rahman open look. Ola, the 7-footer with a rebound. Northwestern scored the first 10 of the game. They've scored the first 8 of the second half. Ola can't hang on to it. That's a Northwestern turnover.
Not a bad idea, but not the right idea. It's good to just move the ball, get it to change sides of the floor. Alex Ola does a great job of sealing in the post, so as the ball swings, he's going to hold his seal and have position down low. No need to force it down low from the top of the key.
Walton fouled by Demps. First of the half on either side.
I see that a lot these days. You see defenses want to pressure, get out on the ball, apply good ball pressure, but if you're not down in a stance, it's going to be a foul every single time. You have to stay low. Get your hands wide. Take your hands off the man.
Would you have liked to play defense in this era?
I didn't like to play defense in any era.
There's another foul out front.
Is that a trick question?
No, it was straightforward. You answered it straightforward, too.
Honestly. I mean, defense today is more about being in position early. And I think coaches are going to coach defense a little bit different. As opposed to just energy and effort, play hard, smack the floor. No, get yourself in position. A lot of shell drill. I mean, if anybody coached high school basketball, you probably done shell drill. Put 4 guys on the floor, teach them about position basketball on the defensive end.
Irvin with a long 2. Ola another rebound. Michigan went the entire first segment of the first half without a point. And they're nearing doing the same here, although they forced a Trey Demps turnover on this possession.
This is where Chris Collins just wants him to attack it. Attack that top leg. Try to turn the corner. Good things will come from it. Can't be indecisive coming off a ball screen.
McIntosh tipped it right to Robinson. Back to Abdur-Rahman. Donnell out to screen. Rolls to the bucket. Abdur-Rahman with a take in the finish, and the first Michigan point since the break.
And that's what he did in the first half. Michigan had nothing. Goes 0 points at the first time out. And Abdur-Rahman comes in and makes plays. Gets it going to the basket. He'll hit a couple jumpers in the paint.
Ola will finish with a slam. Defense took a chance, came up empty. Trying to create his own shot. Out of Donnell's screen. Kicks it outside Abdur-Rahman with a spin on McIntosh. And it is eerie how similar the start of the second half is to the start of the game.
I mean, Abdur-Rahman's been the catalyst offensively for Michigan to start the first half. And certainly here starting the second half. Getting something going to the basket forces the defense to retreat. You have to retreat to protect the rim. And we'll see if Michigan can counter with some good looks from the perimeter.
Zone. Short this time. Rebound Donnell. Walton will shoot a pair after the Lumpkin foul. It's his third. Northwestern with a 7-point lead coming out of the gates in this second half. On fire the same way they began the game. Trying to beat Michigan in Ann Arbor.
Effortless. Just seems easy, right?
Now they need scoring options with Karis LeVert somewhere back there.
Somewhere. There he is. Come on, Coach. Have a seat.
There he is.
Just had to get a better angle. That was it.
Since the calendar turned, that lower leg injury, trying to come back against Purdue a couple of weeks ago, but played only 11 minutes and re-aggravated that lower leg injury. At this point, John Beilein has said it is up to Karis LeVert, and he does want to come back. There was some talk of shutting him down, but they've said for now that's not the plan. They'd like to get him back. It's just a matter of when he's comfortable coming back.
And it's ultimately what's best for him going forward. He's not a kid who's going to stop playing basketball in college. He's got a professional career, and I'm not talking about some country we don't know exists. I mean, look, he's got a career in the NBA. I played in countries that we didn't know exist.
No, did you have fun though?
Not that guy. Not really. No. I like talking about the game. I get to wear a suit and makeup.
Scotty Lindsey's first points of the game. 7-point Northwestern lead. Here's Walton. Extra pass Donnell. It was fouled by Pardon. Our Motel 6 man of the night is Aubrey Dawkins. It's his second consecutive game, though, coming off of the bench as the 6th man and being quiet. On Sunday against Maryland, played only 4 minutes. Didn't score. Hardly seeing any time tonight. Hasn't scored tonight either.
I think it's important to get him going. Now, he really thrives when he can get something at the rim and then spaces you out, gets a 3. Kind of that back and forth type game. Tough to stop with his size. He could also be a very good defender. He is at times. If he uses his length, gets out in transition. That's what this team needs.
We were talking about the LeVert injury, how you lose your leading scorer, but the trickle-down effect of that is that the bench gets shorter. You lose some bench production. They had a season-low 6 points from the bench against Maryland on Sunday. And not getting a ton off of the bench tonight either. Skelly gets fouled. We'll have a pair coming up.
Skelly's been great tonight. Glad we got to meet his father, John. We talked a little bit, and he's having a great game. He just gave a teammate one of the hardest high fives I've seen in a while. Almost gets this thing to go. I mean, there's high fives, and then there's not going to be able to make a shot high five.
It's similar to what we do pregame to get pumped. Right? Get
we do like a 1992 chest bump, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air chest bump. People don't do that anymore. It's a little different. Go shoulder to shoulder, back to back, or something.
Nope. Just the chest. That didn't get you jacked up. I don't know what will. Irvin trying to go by Skelly. Instead it's Abdur-Rahman and Doyle. Offensive foul, second on Pardon.
That's tough, especially for a young guy who seems to have hit a wall. Young guys, his Big Ten schedule's brutal. You see Doyle just getting himself into position. Good find by Abdur-Rahman. I mean, just kind of making you work. Wasn't a ball screen, but he came off of it. Demps didn't stay pressured with the ball. Pardon had to help, and he ended up giving up a layup.
Dawkins got it.
I mean, we did tell him, right? We said, look, if we're going to give you Motel 6-6 man, you got to give us a buck.
We're going to sponsor you off of the bench.
No, we clearly didn't show a lot of confidence in him, giving him Motel 6-6 player until he made a shot. I mean,
Demps a teardrop to quiet the crowd.
That's a big shot. This crowd finally gets into it. Talk about the weather outside. I think they filled it up pretty well here, considering what's going on outside. They get into it on that three, and Demps has an answer.
Hope their shoes are in better shape than mine after walking through the slushy parking lot. Some trash bags for the way out. Cover those things up. Dawkins' first bucket of the night brings Michigan back to within one in a game that they trailed by 13 during the first half.
Lost to a very good Michigan State. What do you want them to do? Look, if they close it out strong, I think people stop asking questions. It's not the same team that lost to UNLV and Wake Forest earlier this season.
Sounds like you're already buying.
I've been buying them since day one. I did have some questions there. You lose to UNLV, Wake Forest, the way they lost Duke, the way they lost to them. Yeah, you got questions, but it takes time to kind of find that continuity in the offense. You also got a young big in Thomas Bryant who has since learned how to play defense. And when you're put in ball screen situations, your big has to know how to defend.
Ola bricks a three. Michigan looks to counter. This game has not been tied until now.
Tie that.
That's a walk.
And credit Aubrey Dawkins for that walk. Obviously credit for making two big threes. He ties the ball game with this one. Probably wasn't a great shot, but he got it to go. And then defensively, he understood exactly what Trey Demps was supposed to do in that set offense. He was supposed to come get the ball on a dribble handoff, change sides of the floor, and Dawkins jumped and took it away.
Northwestern scored the game's first 10, led by as many as 13. Doyle had it and was fouled. Michigan is charged back into it. They made just 1 3 during the first half. Dawkins has hit back-to-back threes here to even the issue at 44.
Doyle capitalized on his good screen. He set a good screen, forcing Alex Ola to go with the ball. It's going to be a mismatch down low. Doyle wins.
Abdur-Rahman given room. Tapped around, kicked around, Demps to the floor, saves it to Lumpkin.
They're going to have to figure that one out because that's the second time Trey Demps got stuck trying to box out Doyle down low.
Not a matchup you're going to win many times.
Not a matchup I'd want.
No. Alex Ola heads off from McIntosh. Swing it around, Demps a three. Dawkins has brought Michigan back with his back-to-back 3 balls.
I said before the game, 35%. If you're a team that likes to almost live and die by the three, you got to shoot 35% from the three. And right now, Northwestern, right around that mark. They're going to have to get a couple more to go.
Walton fades. Chapman has it. In and out. Chapman again is fouled by Ola. And a chance for Cameron Chapman to give Michigan its first lead of the night.
The effort and energy, though, that's the thing. I mean, when the offense isn't really working for you, you see guys just kind of fall apart. Offense isn't really working, but they're staying at it. Chapman himself is getting after it.
From down 13 to up 1 for the Wolverines. Urban comes in, replacing Abdur-Rahman. Cameron Chapman, who has earned more playing time here down the stretch, makes a pair after the offensive board. Doyle called for the foul, bodying up inside with Ola.
Said it before, the way to not foul in college basketball these days is to play defense early. And playing defense early means get yourself in position. Always be in position. That means you got to be on the ball side, which means there's no face cut. You're not behind a player like Alex Ola. Just easier said than done.
Now Donnell gets whistled.
Even right there, on a ball screen, you have to be in position before the ball comes your way. We got a great look at it. Just jumping out a little late. He's sliding with him. Gets him with the knee.
Ola one dribble. Handoff L zone. Demps on the drive. Fell zone for three. In and out. Lumpkin lost it.
And that's good offense. That's why you see Chris Collins clapping on the sideline. You feel good about that. You want to build off of good offensive possessions. That's the whole goal. You get this thing, yeah, it's a good opportunity. Just gets it off of his knee.
Yes. Dawkins explodes baseline. Chapman tips for the foul on Michigan. That's number 4 on the Wolverines right now. And Jerry Palm's last 4 in. Really aren't any bad losses on the resume, at least by the book. And they've got 3 top 25 RPI wins.
I think you look at the book, yes, you're right. No bad losses, but at the same time, the losses that we would say are bad losses are the ones that they lost by a lot. It's how you lose, and even though that shouldn't really be an issue, that's the one question I've always had about this team, was that kind of toughness.
Ola gets fouled by Donnell, his second. So it's the eye test losses more than it is, by the book.
I do. I look at that, the way you lose to Indiana, the way you lose to Michigan State. I think the way they played against Purdue, they were able to grind it out. That said a lot to me. You can grind it out against a team like Purdue. You're all right. You just can't lose big to UConn, big to SMU, big to Xavier. Now, at the same time, this is a team that has seen a number of different iterations, a number of different lineups, and even at this point, you're still trying to find your identity. All the while, hoping that you get Karis LeVert back. You got no Spike Auburn, who's one of the best passers in the conference, maybe even the country.
He's been out all season with those hip injuries. And the foul on the rebound goes on Northwestern after Ola missed the second free throw. Now, for whatever it's worth, Over the last 2 decades, only once has a Big Ten team won 20 games overall, 10 in the conference, and missed the NCAA tournament. It was Penn State in 2009. With a win tonight, Michigan would reach 20 wins overall, 10 in the conference.
20 wins, so long as you have a good non-conference schedule, should do it, especially in this conference. Staying above 500 in this conference is if you coach in this league, you play this league, you understand how difficult that is. Even if you have a number next to your name, meaning you're a top 25 team, it's still hard to finish 500 or better in this conference.
Tonje Lumpkin just got called for his 4th foul. Michigan already into the bonus. And Mark Donnell makes 1 of 2.
You know, every time Alex Ola goes to the bench, I'm interested to see how this Northwestern offense functions. You got Joey Van Zegeren in there. He's just not the same threat as Alex Ola. Very athletic, got great length.
The 1 in purple, in for the first time. Virginia Tech transfer, out to screen for Demps. Rolls to the bucket, Demps the kick, Skelly the 3, knocks it down. Only his 3rd triple of the season. And it puts Northwestern back in front inside of 8 minutes.
Trey Demps knew exactly what he was doing. It was not about getting a layup. It was about getting the defense to commit. Skelly gets the 3. Northwestern's up 1.
Wednesday basketball on BTN is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, Wings Beer Sports, and brought to you in part by State Farm. We exist to assist. Kevin Skelly's 3 has Northwestern back in front by a point in a game that they've led almost the entire way. But our Firestone Complete Auto Care Hustle Play of the Game. What do you got?
It goes to our unsung heroes. Student managers and walk-ons don't get enough credit for what they do. They're in more than the players are, and they're asked to do everything. They learn humility and hard work at a young age, and half the players you see on the floor are going to be asking them for a job someday. Myself included, possibly.
Yeah.
I better stop interviewing coaches before and after the game. Start talking to them.
Right, yeah. Abdur-Rahman inside, banks it in, puts Michigan back in front.
He's just been the guy, hasn't he? I mean, anytime Michigan needs a bucket, they go to Abdur-Rahman, and he gets it going to the basket.
15 to lead Michigan after he had 16 on Sunday. Called a foul away from the ball on Northwestern, headed the other way.
Abdur-Rahman, we talk about a guy who can get it going, not just for his teammates, but really for himself, and that's what you want. A guy who's going to come in and get some buckets, get this team back on track. He did just that to start the game. He did just that to start the second half. And that's why Michigan's got a 1-point lead.
Trailed by as many as 13, trailed 10-0 to start the game. Irvin trying to go baseline. Skelly sticks with him for a moment. Irvin against Skelly with a crossover. There's a foul. And it's number 10 on Northwestern, so 2 shots coming from Zach Irvin.
For a guy like Zach Irvin, if he has that much room to work in a one-on-one situation, it's going to be tough for Gavin Skelly.
Only a 62% foul shooter. Wisconsin and Iowa when we finish. Wisconsin rolling. Iowa still trying to track down a conference title. Number 8 in the country right now.
I think everybody's panicked. A lot of Hawkeye fans don't understand. See Trey Demps getting that little floater to go. Tough shot. You don't realize what it takes to play a full season in the Big Ten. They came out so hot. You sweep Michigan State, you sweep Purdue. It's hard to maintain that level.
Donnell tips it in off of the Abdur-Rahman miss.
And I like the lineup on the floor that's on for Northwestern. Skelly's been playing great. He's even getting threes to go.
Hold on to a cutting foul zone.
How about that ball movement, man? That is ball and man movement. It didn't ever stop. The defense never had a chance to reset. Good offense.
Sharing it well. 14 assists tonight for Northwestern. Dawkins got fouled. Oh, Ola came over, and he was the only thing that could keep Dawkins from thundering it down.
There were a few flashes down by the basket. I'm sure someone was about to get a great picture of that. Oh, just couldn't get it. But on the other end, I mean, you look at the ball movement. That's only the last part of it, but what you didn't see was drive to the baseline, kick to Ola. Ola takes 2 dribbles to the paint, draws defense, gives it to an easy layup for foul zone. But Dawkins, he almost just made a highlight.
You know, those pictures that you said were almost good shots, they'll still be great shots. He could
just
tell,
getting it. Yep.
He could tell his friends and his kids one day that he did dunk that over Ola.
No one will remember. Oh, everything's online these days. Just imagine 15 years from now. Holy smokes.
But an 0 of 2 on that trip, and it stays tied.
McIntosh has to wait. He's got to give Ola time to get set.
Feeds him. Ola drops it in and puts Northwestern back on top.
And it's amazing. On the rescreen, McIntosh gets enough space, draws a defense just enough to get Ola open.
Averaged 23.5 in the 2 games against Michigan last year. Has 19 to lead the way in this one at a 2-point Northwestern lead. Another tight one between these teams. Second time they met up last year. A double overtime game. Trade Dems twice. Beat the horn to force overtime. Once into the first, then into the second overtime where Alex Ola helped put it away. 82-78 the final score. First meeting was a 2-point game. A Michigan win here in Ann Arbor. So we were talking about this being a great poster, and he can tell his kids one day that he did slam this down over Ola.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Unbelievable.
Our new media department back in Chicago at BTN, they've got to find a way to get that, because I don't care whether they're winning or not. No one's going to remember it.
No.
I'll even get it signed for them. We're going to be back here next week. I'll get it signed. Print that thing up.
Be a great Twitter picture, avatar, call those avatars. Abdur-Rahman putting the moves on and laying it in to tie the game with 5 to go.
That's not the switch that you want. You don't want to get Alex Ola stuck on him. You don't want Ola to have to pick up a foul to get a stop. Abdur-Rahman's been terrific tonight.
Here's Dents with 10 to shoot. McIntosh driving, throwing it up there. Dawkins clears it. In a tie game, here comes Walton. Dawkins, 3, and the lead. And a timeout for Northwestern. The third 3 of the second half for Aubrey Dawkins.
Good to get Aubrey Dawkins going. Our Motel 6 man took him a while, but he's been hot.
All right, Dave, looking forward to that one. 57-54, Michigan in front. Thanks largely to Aubrey Dawkins, and 3 for 3 from outside in the second half.
I mean, we highlighted the potential highlight, but him getting threes to fall off the bench has been huge. 15 points from the bench for the Wolverines. 9 of those coming from this man, Aubrey Dawkins. And Spider-Man up there loves it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that takes effort, too. That's not just, oh, let me go find a Spider-Man costume. I mean, it's probably quasi-homemade.
I thought you meant the performance from Dawkins. You meant this.
No, I'm still big on the little things like that. That's what makes college basketball so much fun. Some proud parents out there. Good investment.
Thankfully for them, you can't tell who it is. You can see through the face. Shot clock winds down to 10 as we wind inside of the 4-minute mark. Demps has hit so many big shots in his career. A floater off the iron that Ola can't corral. Falzone rips it away and gets fouled. He's had a great night as well.
Yes, I mean, getting physically active like that, that's great. That's what you want to see from your freshman. He's not the biggest jumper out here. Aubrey Dawkins is. Aubrey comes down with the ball. Foul zone, finds a way to just rip it away. Good fight. It's a good game. Really good game.
Yeah, it really has been.
We got a great one coming up after us, but right now, these are two very surprisingly evenly matched teams. They play a similar style. It's almost as if who can get threes to fall consistently.
They rely on threes, these two teams do, as much as any teams in the country. As Donnell gets called for his 4th foul, but more importantly, number 7 on Michigan. So 1-1 for the Cats.
This is the same exact foul he got. You're just late. You got to be there early. If you're on time, you're late, right? That's what every boss will tell you out there, right? You got to be there early. It's the same thing on a ball screen. If you're going to hedge hard, you have to be there early. Although you're also playing against good basketball players that know how to read that. And a good basketball player, if you're there too early, is going to slip that. It's going to turn into a layup.
Northwestern within 3, despite Brian McIntosh having only 2 points tonight. Tipped around, and Ola's got it before throwing it away. And Walton makes him pay. McIntosh back in a hurry.
That escalated quickly.
That it did. This is the first double or multi-possession lead of the night for Michigan, but it was brief. Abdur-Rahman working against Lumpkin into the lane. Outside Dawkins. Inside a 10 to shoot. Abdur-Rahman approaches. Drives on Ola with a fade. He's short. Follows the miss and lays it in. Ola for 3. Foul on Northwestern on the rebound.
This has been your guy. If you're a Wolverine fan, this has been your guy. Abdur-Rahman, he has not stopped attacking. He is always looking to get buckets. And that's hard to defend. It forces you to play defense on your heels at all times. And if you're switching team, as Northwestern is, whether it be switching because of the zone or you're in man and you're just switching everything, a lot of your bigs are getting put in bad situations from a guy who's just going to break your ankles.
And Sanjay Lumpkin just fouled out of the game. He's not a guy that never going to score much, but one of their best defenders. Important glue guy takes a seat with 2:43 left. Irvin to the line for 2 shots. Michigan, uncharacteristically, has missed 5 free throws tonight. One of 2 and the largest lead of the game for the Wolverines. Here's Demps catch and shoot. Big 3 for Trey Demps. Cuts it to 3. With 2:31 to go. Heck of a game to start our doubleheader on BTN.
McIntosh, great passer that he is, found Trey Demps for a key 3.
Only 4 points tonight for McIntosh, but that's his 7th assist. And a 3-point game, and a game that Michigan badly needs. They've dropped 4 of their last 6. Right now in Jerry Palm's last 4 in. They can't afford a loss to Northwestern. Here's Walton. And a reach-in foul put him at the line for 2. Our Duluth trading hardest working player, Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman. When Michigan needed a boost, he gave it to him.
Oh, he really did, and he did it by attacking. The aggressor usually wins. I would say the aggressor usually always wins, but in this case, Abdul-Rahman came in the game when the team was struggling. They had nothing going offensively, and he got them easy baskets, found them rhythm, and attacking the glass forced the Northwestern defense to converge.
He scored 6 of the first 8 points for Michigan after Northwestern had gone out to a 10-0 advantage. Real similar story at the start of the second half. Northwestern went on a run. Abdul-Rahman scored the first 4 after the break to get Michigan going. Back to a 5-point game. 2:17 left. It's Demps fading, shooting. Off the iron. Ola called for the foul. Over the back on Doyle.
Now, that foul is over the back because he used his arm. If he just jumps straight up, Doyle's trying to block him out. It's not a foul if he jumps straight up and taps it away. He gets his opposite arm onto the defender. Not egregious again. There should be no such thing as an over-the-back call, too. It should just be a push.
Okay.
Because everyone says that wasn't over the back. Well, it was a push.
Yeah. Foul number 3 on Alex Ola. Michigan in the double bonus. They've shot 19 free throws tonight to Northwestern 7. And Ricky Doyle calmly seeks a pair to give Michigan the 7-point lead. We finish Wisconsin and Iowa. What a night of hoops on BTN. Demps driving. Ooh, man. Foul number 8 on Michigan, so 1-1 for Trey Demps.
Skelly looks like, I tell you, Skelly seems as if he had an extra cup of coffee this afternoon. I mean, again, another highlight that wasn't a highlight. That was a great play.
1-1 for Demps. He's not a great free throw shooter. Has 11 for Northwestern and has 1 more here.
Well, Demps historically is the kind of guy who's going to shoot as well as he needs to. And I mean, this year he's had his struggles, but in years past, they need a big shot. You're going to Trey Demps.
Hit the 2 threes to force overtime and then to force double overtime in the win against Michigan at home last year. They lost on this floor to the Wolverines by 2 early on in the conference slate a season ago. This is the only meeting between the teams this season. Dawkins, a step back, short. All of the rebound. 5-point game, nearing a minute and a half. McIntosh. Ola, the extra pass, Falzone with a drive, pulled away. McIntosh laid it off the front of the rim. Dawkins on the run out. Dawkins lays it in. Demps fires away. And now Northwestern has no choice but the foul.
I'll tell you what, this finish by Aubrey Dawkins was terrific. He does the little soccer move, the obstruction move. Here he's going to go. He'll take a little left turn there, slow you down. But uses his body well, extends his arm to make the layup. Kind of a gutsy layup when you got a big shot blocker trailing you, but great play. Didn't try to out-athlete him. That's not a term either, but I'm using it.
Out-athlete. What was the other one you had?
I think, gosh. It was so good, I forget it.
Yeah, I already blocked it out.
We couldn't find it in Webster's.
Nope. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm going to think of it before we get out of here.
I'll be halfway back to Chicago when I figure it out.
We're not in this weather. So game time decision. Have you made the decision yet? Are you going to hit the road? Or?
Oh, you know, I don't know, man. I'll tell you, I'm really interested to watch this game coming up after us. I mean, Michigan's had a terrific night. We've had a great ball game. Wisconsin and Iowa. Wisconsin has been as good as anybody in this conference, winning 8 out of the last 9.
Ola airballs the 3 at the bottom of the backboard. Last touch by Michigan. Inside of a minute now. Well, the Wolverines trailed this game by 13 during the first half. A game they had to have with what they have coming up.
You're right.
At Wisconsin And then against Iowa here next Saturday, they found a way to come from behind. And barring a minor miracle, we'll get out of here with win number 20 and win number 10 in conference play.
And no coach is ever really happy. I think we saw that Tom Izzo. They played a great game and really blew out Ohio State, but Tom Izzo had a lot he wanted to correct. John Beilein's going to be the same way because he still has high expectations for this team. He wants his team to play better. You come out and make threes early, and they probably pull away pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And it took Abdul Rock coming in this game in the first half to get things going, and in the second half. And then Aubrey Dawkins hitting threes. Huge threes. The three to tie it up. And the three to give him a bigger lead.
Dawkins has hit all 3 of his threes tonight. The rest of the team 1 for 11. Remember, they missed their first 8 before Duncan Robinson hit one to finish the first half. Your word was laborsome. The word you used.
That's what the word was.
Yeah. Told you I'd get it before we got out of here. I think my drive back to Grand Rapids is going to be laborsome.
Yes, you are correct. Now that you have to be impressed. Great crowd tonight, by the way, considering the elements. Right. Great to get them out, but goodness gracious. What a tough matchup here. Both these teams very similar in a lot of ways. And Michigan right now they have the edge.
Trey Demps. Lay it in. So Northwestern again so close. So many games they can look at and say, man, if only. But they will fall to 17 and 11, 5 and 10 in conference play. Final score 72-63. Michigan takes down Northwestern. Their 6th consecutive win over Northwestern at the Chrysler Center. They needed it with what they have coming up. Wisconsin and Iowa to finish the regular season. Coming into the night, Jerry Palm's last 4 in. They take care of business against the Wildcats. For John Crispin, the rest of our crew, Joe Davis, saying so long from Ann Arbor. We get you to Dave, Robbie, and Jess with a Big Ten game break in Chicago.
Coach, you guys struggled to get open shots to fall. What do you tell your players when you rely so much on the three?
Well, we had some open looks, but their defense was really good. And, John, we did not practice one bit of man in the last 2 days. These guys haven't played any man, right, in like 5 or 6 games that we know of. And they came out in man, and I think it shocked us a little bit. And I'm just telling you, Chris Collins can really coach. The stuff they're running, there's a mixture of college and pro stuff. I mean, I'm so proud of our guys the way they hung in there when they were really picking us apart sometimes.
How difficult is Alex Ola to defend? I mean, he really replaces, he moves his position very well. He also screens very well with a guy like Brian McIntosh coming off ball screens.
No, it's really difficult. If Ola got to play against us every day, he'd be the lottery pick. I mean, we're tough guard for us. Mark Donnell and did a great job with him. So did Ricky Doyle. We did the best we could. But they got a really good team. I don't think this team, they can win out. Now, they got some tough games. They got to go to Penn State, I think. They got to win out, but they're a really good basketball team.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
All right,
best of luck.